Ladies, let's have a real talk, just us. You know that moment when someone pulls away from a hug a little too quickly, or opens a window when you walk in the room. You tell yourself it's nothing, but deep down, you wonder. The truth is, as we age, our bodies change in ways no one warned us about, including how we smell. And no, it's not because we're not clean. It's deeper than that. There's one small spot most women completely miss during their daily routine, and it's the number one reason behind that lingering, old person smell. Once you learn where it is and how easy it is to fix, you'll feel fresher, more confident, and proud again. Let's just say it out loud. Old people smell is a real thing, and no one tells you it's coming. We hear it whispered behind closed doors, or worse, from the mouths of brutally honest grandkids. And if you've ever caught someone inching away during a hug or cracking a window when you visit, you've probably asked yourself, is it me? Here's the truth. It's not about how often you shower or whether you're tidy. It's about how your body naturally changes as you age. See, when we were younger, our skin did a pretty great job of keeping things fresh. We had healthy oil production, faster skin cell turnover, and enough sweat to wash toxins away naturally. But after 50, everything slows down. Our skin produces less oil, and dead skin cells tend to stick around longer, especially in warm, hidden areas like behind the ears, under the breasts, or along the neckline. Add in hormonal shifts and a drop in metabolism, and we're working with a very different body than we had in our 30s. The biggest culprit, a compound called 2-nonenal. Never heard of it? Most haven't, but you've definitely smelled it. It's a byproduct of oxidized fatty acids on an aging skin, and it creates that faintly musty, greasy scent that clings to clothing, pillowcases, and even favorite chairs. And unfortunately, regular soap and water just don't cut it. 2-nonenal sticks like glue unless you target it the right way. The hardest part? Most people who carry this smell can't smell it themselves. Our sense of smell dulls with age, so we don't notice what others do. But once you understand what's really going on, you can do something about it, and that's empowering. This isn't about shame. It's about dignity, self-care, and staying confident as we age. So why does this happen to us and not the 25-year-old mowing his lawn shirtless in 90 degrees of the heat? He sweats buckets, but somehow he doesn't carry that lingering scent we're talking about. The answer lies deep within the changes our bodies go through as we age, changes we were never taught to expect. First, our skin's natural renewal slows down. When we're young, skin cells shed easily, making way for fresh new ones. But after age 50 or so, that turnover slows dramatically. Dead skin cells start to cling to the surface, especially in places like under the breasts, belly folds, or behind the ears, mixing with sweat, oils, and environmental pollutants. It creates the perfect environment for bacteria to thrive. Then there's the issue of sebum, the natural oil your skin produces. In younger years, it helped moisturize and protect. But as we get older, sebum changes in both quantity and chemistry. That's when something sneaky, called 2-nonenal, starts showing up. This compound doesn't even exist in younger bodies. It's created when fatty acids in our skin oxidize, and it smells off. People describe it as grassy, greasy, or just plain old. And no, spraying on perfume won't fix it. In fact, it often makes it worse, mixing florals with mustiness into something even more noticeable. We don't smell it because our sense of smell naturally declines with age, making us less aware of the scent we're carrying. But others do. They won't mention it, not out of malice, but out of politeness. Still, the effect is real. Fewer hugs, less closeness, more emotional distance. But knowing all this isn't meant to make you feel bad. It's meant to give you clarity and control. These changes are biological, not personal failures. And once we understand the why, we're in a powerful position to take action and care for ourselves with intention, not guilt. That's the beauty of aging wisely. Now let's talk about the spot almost everyone forgets, one that plays a surprisingly big role in that lingering odor we've been discussing, right behind the ears. I know it sounds almost silly, but think about it for a second. When was the last time you really gave that area a good scrub? Not just let the shampoo run down, but truly cleaned it with intention. That spot, where your jaw meets your neck, is a perfect little storm. Thin skin, active oil glands, folds that trap sweat, and dead skin, and limited airflow. Add in a little hairspray or hair product, maybe the residue from your glasses or earrings, and you've got yourself a recipe for an invisible buildup that turns sour over time. And since it's behind us, literally, we tend to forget it exists. Here's the thing, that area doesn't feel dirty. It's not sticky, itchy, or visibly grimy. But the combination of sebum, sweat, skin flakes, and product residue just sits there, day after day. I once wiped behind my ears with a damp cloth before bed, just to test the theory, and I was shocked. The smell was subtle, but unmistakably stale, and I'd been walking around with it for who knows how long. No one ever told me, and chances are, no one will tell you either. People notice, they just don't say it out loud. Your grandkids might pull back from a hug. Your daughter-in-law might crack the window in the car. You'll feel something shift, but not know why. That's the heartbreak of it. It's not rejection. It's discomfort they don't know how to voice. But here's the power in this message. Now you know. This one tiny spot, smaller than the palm of your hand, can make a huge difference in how you feel, how others interact with you, and how confident you are in your skin. And the best part, fixing it is simple. We're not talking expensive products or complicated routines, just awareness, a gentle touch, and a commitment to care. So what really happens if you keep ignoring that tiny spot behind your ears? The truth is, it doesn't just go away, and it doesn't stay small. Over time, that quiet little buildup of sweat, oil, and skin turns into what I call a silent stink. You can't smell it because you're used to your own scent. But others? Oh, they notice. At first it's subtle, a slight sourness on your pillow, a collar that gets dirty faster than usual. Maybe your grandchild stops nestling into your shoulder like they used to. It's heartbreaking because it feels like rejection, but it's not personal. It's biology, and it's preventable. Here's what's really happening. Those natural oils behind your ears start to oxidize, especially when mixed with product residue or sweat. Bacteria love this mix. They feed on it. As they break it down, they release that faint, musty odor we've been talking about. And no, layering on perfume won't help. In fact, it often makes things worse, turning the smell into something sweet and sour that's even more noticeable. Worse yet, ignoring it can affect your skin health. That area might start to feel itchy, red, or irritated. Small bumps can show up along your neck or behind your ears. And if you've ever wondered why your favorite blouse starts smelling after just one wear, it's all connected. But here's the hardest part. It begins to affect how others interact with you. Hugs become shorter, conversations less close. People won't say a word, but their body language will, and that slowly chips away at your confidence, your connection, your joy. But here's the good news. It doesn't have to stay that way. This is 100% something you can change, starting today. And in the next section, I'll show you exactly how, with kindness, simplicity, and care. Now that you know the problem, let's talk about the solution. And here's the best part. It's so much easier than you think. You don't need expensive soaps, fancy brushes, or miracle sprays. You just need a little intention, a soft touch, and a few extra seconds in your daily routine. Next time you're in the shower, After you've washed your hair and body, take a moment to focus on that forgotten area behind your ears. Use a gentle cleanser, something mild and non-drying, like a fragrance-free body wash, or even a gentle face cleanser. Add a small amount, about the size of a nickel, to your fingertips, then softly massage it into the skin behind each ear, right where your jawline meets your neck. Don't rush it. Let the warm water, about 100 to 104 degrees F, help loosen any buildup. This temperature is warm enough to cleanse without stripping your skin. Rinse thoroughly. Don't just let the water trickle down. Use your fingers to guide it, making sure nothing is left behind, especially if you've used hairspray, mousse, or conditioner. Once out of the shower, gently pat dry behind your ears with a soft towel. Don't rub harshly, just dab until the area is fully dry. Moisture left behind can invite bacteria back in, so this step matters more than people realize. If you wear glasses or earrings, give those a regular wipe down too. Oils and residue can transfer back to your skin, and if your hair tends to get oily quickly, consider pulling it back a few times a week to let that area breathe. The key here isn't scrubbing hard, it's consistency. This simple act, just 30 seconds a day, can transform how fresh you feel, how others respond to you, and how confident you walk out into the world. You're not just cleaning a spot, you're reclaiming your sense of self. Now that you're giving behind the ears the attention it deserves, let's not stop there. There are a few other areas on our bodies that tend to get overlooked, especially as we get older, and they play a big role in how we feel, smell, and stay healthy. Let's start with under the breasts. For many women, especially those with a fuller chest, this area becomes a warm, enclosed space that traps moisture, sweat, and skin oils. After your shower, gently pat under the breasts with a soft towel, making sure the skin is completely dry. On warmer days, or when you're more active, you can even use a small amount of talc-free body powder to keep things fresh, but go easy. Too much can lead to irritation. Next, let's talk about belly folds. If you carry extra weight around your midsection, you're not alone, and you're not doing anything wrong. But these folds can also trap sweat, oils, and even lint from clothing. After cleansing with warm water, around 100 degrees Fahrenheit, make sure to dry the area completely. A soft cotton washcloth and a moment of mindfulness go a long way. Then there's the often forgotten area between the toes. It might seem small, but your feet sweat more than most other parts of your body, especially when they're in socks or shoes all day. Gently scrub between the toes, rinse well, and dry thoroughly before putting on clean cotton socks. If you're prone to foot odor, consider a little foot powder or baking soda in your shoes overnight. Finally, don't forget the back of the knees and inside the elbows. These bendable spots might not get stinky like feet, but they still collect oils and sweat, especially in summer months. Taking a few extra seconds each day to care for these hidden zones is about more than hygiene. It's about honoring your body, staying comfortable, and feeling truly fresh from head to toe. You might be wondering, does paying attention to these small hygiene details really make that much of a difference? Let me tell you something from the heart. Yes, it absolutely does. Not just physically, but emotionally. Once you start caring for these hidden areas, behind the ears, under the breasts, between the toes, you don't just smell fresher, you feel like yourself again. It's that moment when you hug your granddaughter and she leans in a little longer, when you sit on the couch and no one cracks a window, when you stop second-guessing whether your blouse has a scent after just one wear. That's the power of a few mindful minutes of care. This isn't about vanity, it's about self-respect. It's about walking into a room and knowing you're clean, polished, and comfortable in your own skin. When we were younger, freshening up was second nature, but now it requires a little more effort, and that's okay. That effort is an act of love toward ourselves. And here's what most people don't talk about. When you feel clean, you naturally feel more confident, more social, and more connected to others. You stand taller, you smile more, you start saying yes to outings again, to lunch dates, to family events, because you're not quietly worrying about how you smell or whether someone might pull away. Taking control of your personal care is taking control of your presence in the world. It says, I may be older, but I'm still vibrant, still proud, and still deserving of closeness and respect. It's never too late to make these shifts. Whether you're 60 or 85, this isn't about chasing youth. It's about honoring the woman you are right now. Cleanliness isn't just a habit. It's part of your identity. And when you tend to these little things, something beautiful happens. You reclaim your confidence, your dignity, and your spark. Now here's something we often overlook. This wisdom isn't just for us. Yes, we may be older and wiser, but that doesn't mean our children and grandchildren have it all figured out. In fact, many of them are rushing through life, skipping self-care, and ignoring the same spots we forgot for years. So why not pass this knowledge along? No, you don't need to give them a lecture or sit them down for a hygiene class. Just sprinkle in little tips here and there, like showing your granddaughter how to properly dry under her arms after a shower, or reminding your grandson not to forget behind the ears when he's getting ready for a big day. These gentle suggestions may seem small, but they stick. Think of it like a legacy, not of money or things, but of care, confidence, and quiet dignity. You're not just helping them stay clean. You're teaching them that their body deserves attention and respect. And honestly, this isn't just about odor. It's about habits that support good health, strong self-esteem, and lasting connection with others. You might be surprised how much your loved ones appreciate it. A quick tip in the right moment can change how they feel about themselves. And the best part, you're leading by example. When they see you taking care of yourself, loving yourself, they'll understand what real self-respect looks like. Because here's the truth, good habits don't belong to any one age group. Whether you're 9 or 90, we all deserve to feel clean, fresh, and confident. And if you can help the next generation avoid the discomfort, embarrassment, or distance that comes from neglecting the little things, well, that's something to be proud of. So go ahead, share the behind-the-ear trick, pass down the power of presence. It's one of the most meaningful gifts you'll ever give. So ladies, now you know, that stubborn, quiet scent so many of us carry isn't a sign of laziness or poor hygiene. It's a natural part of aging that no one ever warned us about. But now, with just a few gentle shifts in your daily routine, like washing behind your ears, drying skin folds, and choosing warm water around 100 degrees Fahrenheit, you can take back control. This journey isn't about chasing youth or perfection. It's about feeling fresh, confident, and fully present in your life, no matter your age. It's about knowing that when you hug your loved ones, you don't have to wonder if they'll pull away. It's about walking into a room and holding your head a little higher, knowing you've cared for yourself with intention and grace. Aging with dignity doesn't come from fancy products or expensive routines. It comes from awareness, action, and love for the body you've lived in all these years. So don't wait. Start today. Give yourself that care. Share what you've learned. And remember, you deserve to feel just as vibrant, clean, and comfortable at 70 or 80 as you did at 30. You've still got so much life to live. Make every moment feel fresh,